I need you to say that a little more convincing, because I sauntered across the stage for you to say good evening nicely. So let's try that again. Good evening to you. Good evening. That was better. That was better. Okay, so I sat there in a small panic, because I have to be honest with you, I did not prepare a speech at all. Which is, yeah, who giggled? You giggled, right, Denise? Okay. Not at all. Because this particular subject is very personal for me. You heard our illustrious Mistress of Ceremonies mention that I happen to be married almost 20 years. I know I only look 25. I got married when I was 5, okay? 5 years old, had a beautiful wedding. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous, okay? So, needless to say, you know, we had babies when we were 6, and my kids are older now, of course, but there are actually 5 of them. And so somebody say, oh wow, 5. Now, I didn't give birth to 5, and that's what makes this evening particularly special for me. Because I am the belly mommy of 2 babies, and I'm the heart mommy of 3. Because that's the only distinction we make in our house, that I got to carry 2 of you in my belly, but I carry the other 3 of you in my heart. And there's no time on that whatsoever. I am such a lover of you all tonight. I mean, an enormous lover. You guys are my family, and I know that we may not technically know each other, but we have shared an incredible experience together, an experience in the sense that we have had to build a very non-traditional family to do some very extraordinary things. My oldest, who is 25 years old, was my student years ago. I used to, before the life that they read to you for 15 minutes, before that life, I was a school counselor. And he was my student. And he was in a very difficult situation. His mom was incarcerated and was chemically dependent. His dad was nowhere to be found, and all he had left was the streets. And so I sauntered home to my husband, who was of course 6 years old, because that's how old we are. And I told him that 5-bedroom house, he didn't read the small print when he married me. I planned to fill up all of those bedrooms, and not just with the children that he participated in making. I'm gonna bring home ones that I meet, like ones you've never seen before, that are bigger than you. I'm gonna bring those home. And I did. And they called me mommy, and they called him Matt, because he was like, I technically didn't make those, so not daddy yet, not yet. I haven't even met the child, I'm not daddy just yet. But over time, he became daddy to everybody. And my oldest is now in college, so even at 25 years old, he's finishing his degree, but nobody expected him to live past 21. Because the life that he was living, he should have either been in jail or he should have been dead, one or the other. But now he's 25 years old, he's married, and he's finishing college. So clap for him. And then there are lots of others, but there's one in particular that I want to talk about where tonight is concerned. And that's my baby Gigi. And Gigi's almost 20 years old. She's in college also. And we've had many nights that we've stayed up and we've talked, and we came together in a very non-traditional way. G was my daughter's, my oldest belly baby's best friend. And her mom was going through a very tough divorce and was military, and asked us if she could stay at our house for a little while. And I remember the morning that I woke up and I had dreamt that she was going to be ours permanently. And I looked over at my husband, who was 7 years old at the time. And I said, how do you feel about us keeping this one? And for the first time, he looked at me and he said, that one was meant to be my daughter. And he fell in love with that little girl as if we made her. It was such a beautiful experience, and at the time she was 14 years old. So we're talking about 5 years ago. And Gigi is the reason for what I'm getting ready to say to you. When we choose to love, we do something that we don't even realize we're doing. When she tells me stories about what it was like for her when she was younger and the experiences that she had with her biological mother and so on and so forth, one of the things that she says all the time is, I used to wonder whether or not there really was a God, and if there was one, could he really even hear my prayers? Until you adopted me. And then I believed that there really was a God, and he really did hear my prayers, and it didn't happen exactly when I would have wanted to, but it happened exactly when I needed it to. Because when you loved me, when you chose me, you made it possible for me to lose my fears. And when I was listening to them sing, and they have done a fantastic job singing tonight, and I'm listening to Cherish the Day. If you listen to the lyrics, it's so appropriate for this moment, because it says, cherish the day that I won't go astray, that I won't be afraid, that you won't catch me running. And I remember her saying to me that she always felt that she was either running from something or trying to run to something. And it was always in connection with her fear, the fear of the unknown, the lack of guarantees in her life for stability. And she got to lose that fear. So that's my first letter in love. You get to lose your fear when you choose to become a family, when you choose to be a parent. My own is that she opened up spaces in my heart that I didn't even know I had. A lot of times people think that we, the parents, are doing such a great thing for these children. But for all of you children, understand that you are doing a fantastic thing to us. You are teaching us that our heart has no bottom. There are rooms and chambers and spaces that we did not even know existed until you stepped into our lives. Because so many people think that you live and love within boxes and parameters and boundaries. But when you get the privilege, and do understand, it is a privilege to be given a child, you lose all of those lines. And suddenly there's a piece of you that you didn't know you had that came to life. V. G used to always say to me that I always questioned my value. Was I worthy enough to be somebody's forever? But I don't have to question that anymore, because I know that I am now part of your forever. And I told her I didn't do it. Look, I'm working on it. But I told her when she turned 18, I would get a tattoo of love. I'm still in the process, okay? Don't judge me. But I was willing. I was willing. I'm halfway there. Maybe when I'm 8, yes, I'll get it, okay? But she was worth that. I would tattoo love all over my body for that little girl. She is just that fantastic because of who she has chosen to be and the fact that she allowed us to love her like that. And then, E. There is no end in forever. When you choose to become a parent, whatever kind of parent you end up being, whether it's traditional or non-traditional, how your babies come into your life, how you expand the parameters and the boundaries of your heart, when you build family, when you say to a child that you are mine now, I will be your mom, I will be your dad, I will be your person, I will be your forever. You are quite literally building a floor for their dreams to stand on. There's nothing more important that we will ever experience in our lives than the gift of family. Whether they're the family of your heart or the family of your blood, family is family. And the people that you can count on and that you know will be there. And when people say when they get married, for good, for worse, and richer or in richer, poor doesn't buy shoes. Okay, just kidding, just kidding. Because I have been very broke, very, very broke, like super duper broke, okay? And even there, I was happy. So rich is not about happiness. Rich is just the ability to fund some of your desires a little differently. That's all it is. So if you're a good person and you're rich, you fund good desires. If you're a bad person, you're rich. You just find bad things more effectively. Character is character. So, needless to say, when it comes to that floor though, that thing that you can stand on, that thing that you can dance on, much like this one, because now you know that you're home, you know that you can lose your fears, you know that you have opened the doors and the lines and the fences that were once determining the parameters of your heart. When value is not a question because you are worthy of someone's forever and they will sacrifice anything for you. When you have family and you have built a floor for people's dreams to stand on, you have everything. Everything you will ever need to be everything that you were ever meant to be. You have the fuel of purpose. That very thing that makes it all possible. When they told me this morning that I had bronchitis, I told them that that wasn't on the schedule. So we'll have to schedule that later, because tonight I'm going to celebrate my people, okay? So we'll see when bronchitis fits into my schedule. But I need you to know, I need you to know that you are my family. Not because we know each other, not because we've hung out. This table right here, we could go shopping, okay? All right. Not because of that either, but simply because we share a core value, and that is the beauty and the purpose, the richness that exists, that's locked inside what it really means to be a family. I'm grateful for all of you who do not have boundaries on your heart. You are changing the world in small ways that will have magnificent impact. And for that, we celebrate you tonight, because you are awesome.